The sky was painfully bright that morning, the kind of warm daylight that never matched the heaviness of a funeral. A soft breeze rustled through the rows of empty white chairs as the guests dressed in black gathered around the fresh grave. Everything was perfectly arranged, expensive flowers, polished casket, and the quiet murmurs of people who had come to say goodbye to a woman the world believed had died too soon. Yet, in the middle of all this calm, something was terribly wrong, something only one man felt in his bones. As the casket was being lowered into the ground, a simple janitor named Samuel froze, his breath caught in his chest. And in that moment, under the bright daylight that revealed every detail, he saw something impossible. Her chest moved. Just slightly. But it moved. If you believe in kindness, miracles, and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps stories like this reach more hearts. Samuel had worked at the cemetery for years, cleaning, maintaining, watching families grieve, and quietly slipping back into the shadows where no one noticed him. But today felt different, heavier, as though the wind itself whispered that something wasn't right. The woman inside the casket, Evelyn Hart, wasn't just any person, she was a billionaire heiress known for her charity work, grace, and the tragedies she had endured. The world admired her, but none of that mattered now. People whispered about her untimely passing, heart failure, they said. Too sudden, too shocking. And now, everyone had come to honor her memory. Yet Samuel's instincts, sharpened not by education but by years of silent observation, kept pulling his gaze to the still figure inside the coffin. Her skin looked too alive, not waxy, or drained the way bodies usually appeared. Her fingertips retained color, not the pale tone death leaves behind. And then he saw it, the faintest tremor of her eyelids, like the twitch of someone trapped between dreams and waking. His heart thundered in his chest. He blinked, thinking the sunlight had tricked him, but no, it happened again. The graveyard fell silent as the priest prepared to give the final blessing. People bowed their heads respectfully, but Samuel stepped backward, shaken, unable to ignore what he'd witnessed. For years he had been invisible to these wealthy families, but today, he could not stay silent. His pulse hammered, his breath shallow, yet something pushed him forward, something stronger than fear. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was fate. He didn't know. He only knew he couldn't let them bury her alive. Samuel thrust out his gloved hand and shouted for them to stop. His voice cracked in the air like a whip, sharp enough to jolt everyone around the grave. Heads snapped up, eyes widened, whispers erupted. Some looked confused, others annoyed, but Samuel didn't care. He pushed past the startled funeral staff, his boots crunching on the grass, and rushed to the casket. The billionaire's family, stunned and offended, demanded to know what he was doing. Samuel didn't look at them, his entire focus was on Evelyn. He leaned in, placing a trembling hand near her lips, feeling for something, anything. And there it was. A faint warmth brushing against his skin. Barely there, but real. He felt his eyes sting, disbelief mixing with hope in a way that made his knees weaken. He listened closely and caught the softest breath escaping her lips, like someone lost in a deep sleep fighting to return. Time seemed to freeze, the bright daylight illuminating the moment with shocking clarity. Panic rippled through the crowd, but Samuel's voice remained steady as he said the words that changed everything: she was alive. Chaos erupted instantly. The funeral director stumbled backward, the billionaire's relatives gasped in horror, some screaming, others crying, trying to cling to the impossible truth. The men believed to be Evelyn's fiancé stared in shock, unable to accept what stood before him. People who moments ago were prepared to say goodbye now rushed forward, their grief turning into confusion and desperate hope. Paramedics were called immediately. Samuel stayed by Evelyn's side, refusing to move even when others pushed around him. He knew what he had seen. He knew that if he had hesitated even a minute, Evelyn would have been buried alive under layers of earth, her faint breath silenced forever. The medical team arrived breathlessly, their faces shifting from skepticism to stunned realization as they checked her pulse. It was weak, but it was there. She was alive. As they prepared to rush her to the hospital, Samuel stepped back, watching the scene unfold as though he were outside his own body. Emotion swirled inside him, relief, fear, disbelief, gratitude. People were crying and hugging, thanking God for a miracle. Yet hardly anyone looked at Samuel, the man responsible for saving her life. He didn't mind. He wasn't used to praise. His heart was simply full knowing he had done what was right. News spread fast. The story of the billionaire heiress mistakenly pronounced dead and saved by a janitor made headlines, but Samuel avoided reporters. He didn't crave fame. He wanted to go back to his quiet life, sweeping floors and maintaining gravesites, where no one expected anything from him. But something was about to happen that he never imagined. Days later, on another sunny morning, Samuel was cleaning near the entrance when a black car pulled up. From it stepped Evelyn herself, fragile but alive, standing on her own feet. The doctors had said she suffered from a rare condition that mimicked death. Her heartbeat had slowed dangerously, her breathing almost imperceptible. Modern medicine had missed it. Everyone had missed it, except Samuel. Her eyes were soft with gratitude as she approached him. She told him she remembered a faint voice calling out, felt a presence refusing to let her go. She said she believed that presence was him. She thanked him not just for saving her life, but for noticing her humanity when everyone else had accepted her death without question. She told him she wanted to honor him, to change his life the way he had changed hers. Samuel, overwhelmed, could barely speak. For a man who had lived in the background of the world, this moment felt unreal. But Evelyn meant every word. In time, she offered him a position within her foundation, helping underprivileged workers, people who were often overlooked just as he had been. She wanted him to be the heart of the initiative, the symbol of what small kindness and awareness could do. Samuel accepted, with tears in his eyes, his life transformed under the same bright daylight in which he had saved hers. If this story is touching your heart so far, please like the video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Thread for more inspiring stories. Evelyn later credited Samuel publicly for saving her life, calling him her guardian in the moment she needed one the most. He never asked for recognition, but he accepted it with humble gratitude. People who once walked past him now greeted him warmly, reminded daily that miracles can come from unexpected places. Before the story ends, please comment below, kindness can save lives. In the end, Samuel didn't just save Evelyn, he saved a piece of humanity. His courage reminded the world that life is fragile, that moments matter, and that sometimes heroes wear worn-out boots and humble uniforms. And as he looked at the world around him, now filled with purpose and possibility, he knew one thing for sure: the day he trusted his instincts under the bright sun was the day everything changed, not just for Evelyn, but for himself as well.